do it. You can dream it. Walt Disney. I did my project on Walt Disney, and mostly because, I grew up watching all his movies, and he inspired me, to, when sixth grade, I would like draw comics when I was bored or felt, like I couldn't do anything else. Here's a little biography, I guess. Walt Disney was born on December 5th on a cold winter day. He was born in Chicago during about the late 1800s. He would become an innovator of animation, even though throughout his school he was only known as the kid who could draw stick figures. He was loved and encouraged by his brother Roy. Sorry. He was encouraged by his brother Roy, who would, become like his father, because his father was never really around. And when he was, he would just, he wasn't in the mood, or, like our fathers now, like they're like so loving, and back then he would just make him work and go places. When he was in high school, about in 12th grade, he dropped out to join the military. He was only 16, so they rejected him. Although right after World War II, he was flown to France and was an ambulance driver. Right after that, he decided he loved drawing so much he wanted to become an animator. He watched he watched young cartoons like, what was her name, Betty Monster, the cartoon, and all those, like, this silly, funny cartoons, like Popeye and all those. So he fell in love with this new kind of development, so he decided to become an animator. And what he did was he made this company called Lava Grounds, and he decided to get his brother, because that's what inspired him to, because he encouraged him to become an artist. They were very successful. They first started in Kansas, but then they moved to a new studio in Hollywood. It was called Lava Grounds Studio. For a few months, they really didn't even do anything, because it was still occupied by military soldiers, all of it. So it was very hard for them to actually do anything around it. After that, he became very successful, making very inspirational movies, and he became the innovator and like the father of animation, and is still known today as very influential to animation and movies. Tragically, when he was making Resorts, the first house he made, he let his mother in when she was just 62. He realized that she couldn't be left alone, so he let her live there. But there was a carbon monoxide leak, and then she took it. He went on and created so many musicals, like Song of the South, and he became very influential. How he died was, surprising, because we didn't know that he was in fact a smoker. He wouldn't smoke in front of children because he felt like he was so ashamed of it, and he couldn't stop being that. He died in December 15th, 1965, just 10 minutes after his birthday. And Roy was influenced by him, and ended up, he carried on his innovation, his traditions, and made Disneyland. Okay, so in the neck, we are similarities. We are both creative. We are attached to our sibling, like we can tell them anything. We all both, well, pretty much everyone has at least one time had failures. We both love music, and we both imaginative. And in our arms, he had many hardships. I didn't really like this. He had an unloving father. My dad, is like those overprotective guys. He had a very bad period in his life where he was unstable because, after his mother's death, he felt like he was so responsible. He went crazy. He was a very good artist. He, as you can see through his very great animations. His legs, first of all, torso. We both had the risk of failure. I had a bunch of failures, I guess, and obviously my drawing is one of them. I'm really bad at drawing. But we both tried and actually took risks, but we knew that it didn't matter because we would try our best. Over here, I have like, for him, he has different things. This is him and like when he was, known as Goody Two Shoes, very nice and very, inspirational. But he also had a different life in his early youth when he was just, living in a farm and he was abused by his dad. Over here, that's me holding a book because I like reading and, it was fun, with him. I don't know why, but I have I like putting things together. I don't really like when I see, I don't know, I guess it's like a habit, but like when I see a puzzle left out, I kind of really like to finish it, like always putting the last piece in the puzzle. I like drawing and I love playing with dinosaurs. And I liked how he overcame it. He paid attention of how the accident occurred, and he was like, he realized it wasn't his fault, it wasn't totally his fault, and he overcame it, he overcame his obstacle of his mother dying. I guess I overcame my obstacle because I still I'm kind of nervous right now. I'm trying to speak in front of y'all. I have like phobia, just I guess. As you can see, I'm not really paying attention, so I guess I still haven't really overcame that. Okay, and what we learned? We learned that we can do anything if we put our minds to it, and that all inspirational people come from difficult paths, and it doesn't matter who you are or what you do and how bad you do it. It just matters if you